about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Miami Dolphins. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. His guys responded well to their season-opening loss, winners a week ago. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys came up short on the road last week. Now they're trying to turn things around in front of the home crowd here. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look here at the veteran under center, their seventh-year quarterback.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
At the 23-yard line.
Another carry for Wilson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. You look at this Jaguar defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This is taken around the 12. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3". They'll start this drive out on the ground.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Now a give right side. Beverly. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
Here we go. Ready.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Jaguars are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate. The always tough NFL.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars.
Jaguars 7.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we could walk away with a win.
It's a pickup of 6.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 74 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Now 3rd down and 7.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Robinson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taken in at the 11. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
19. Go.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And the Jaguars first down.
They give it to Williams, running right. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. You talk about this Miami defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
You have to like the way that they've played in the first month. They have to be very proud being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
Cowboy 80.
2nd and 9 now. Well, that's brought in by Knight. Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 42. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So he stopped for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Dolphins will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Patting the man in motion. They'll start the drive with Wilson.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play.
On first, they'll go back to Wilson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 2. This one is caught. It's Patton. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43. That one goes for 24 yards.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the 1st down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Robinson. And a catch made. It's Patton. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
3rd and 10.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. From the gun on 3rd down. Robinson working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Looking to throw. Robinson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
At the 3-yard line.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Wilson. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Leads to second and goal at the 3-yard line.
Viking 18. Go.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there.
His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing level.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Well, good-looking return set up here. And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Man open left side is Brown. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Ready, break. Here we go. 19 Lions, 19-18. Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
Ready.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7.
14. Dolphins 7.
5 plays there on that drive. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Robinson.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
He'll take a shot here for Patton.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
On the jump.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
19.
They're going to look to throw. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Barber. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
And they ran just a little underneath route here on 1st and goal, but there's really not a whole lot of room to operate this close to the goal line. He's just not able to get loose after the catch.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Jaguars will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7.
Dolphins 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Robinson. And a gain of 3 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Robinson. He finds his man. Complete. That's 4. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Robinson from the gun on third down.
And it's taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
First down.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. They'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second and a couple. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Graves. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This is a 40. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hanson for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. The first couple of weeks of the regular season were wild, to say the least. What about week 3? Let's jump in. Our look around the league starts now with a matchup of contrasting styles. And this is the home team running back. Chalk it up for a 59-yard touchdown. Next up, Lambeau Field. Let's look in on the Packers. They're hosting the Detroit Lions. And this is the Lions wideout. He's going to bring this one in, and away he goes. Make it a 70-yard touchdown grab. The Lions are off to a 3-0 start as they get the victory. Lastly, let's go out to Chicago. The Bears hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's Breece Hall. He's going to show some burst, and he has a score, 24 yards on the touchdown. The Bears are into the win column. They get the victory here in Week 3. And time for one more look at the rest of the scores from around the National Football League. Meanwhile, in our game, it was a competitive, hard-hitting first half. We expect more of the same going forward as we send you back out to Brandon and Charles.
The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Here we go, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Pass to Brown, he's got it on the crossing route. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20.
First down. A gain of 45 yards. And a Jaguar first down.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Caught left side, Williams. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there.
his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Now the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together.
Ready. 70.
On the ground, the drive starts with Wilson. Shoves him away. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Robinson. This one complete to Panton. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. This 2nd and 4. They'll run again with Wilson. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
37-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and sneak it here. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first.
It's 4th down and less than a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And this is going to be intercepted. There's that man, Travis Hunter. And the Jaguars are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
It's a turnover on downs.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, That's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go. Cavalry Lions. 18, Pioneer.
They'll set up a throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Drag. Cowboy dragging 60.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Knight.
And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch.
Touchdown, Jaguars! A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jaguars are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something that was built on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime.
We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
On the jump.
Now Robinson from the gun. He'll throw. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
So with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Looking to throw. Robinson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Robinson. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Robinson. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone.
Again, this is Wilson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. 2nd down and 4.
They'll run with Wilson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
No gain on the play.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Wilson going to try the right side. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line.
62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Let's go now. Go.
Looking to throw. Robinson. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Dolphins get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
35. Dolphins 14.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it, So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better.
Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Jags have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score, Jaguars.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Miami's offense set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Look and repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off play action. Robinson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Miami. 51 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Graves. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Tag! Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
2nd and 1. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up on the ground with Wilson. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
16-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Let's see who this is on.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there.
Back to throw. Robinson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
At the Jaguars.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Looking to throw. Robinson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
It's now third down.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at triple zeros. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Back to throw. Robinson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That is caught. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Another Dolphins first down. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Wilson with a first down carry. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try and run with Wilson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Looking to throw. Robinson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw is Robinson. Throwing on fourth down. Touchdown! A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more. For the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
Dolphins 21.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. Oh, good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Jags offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Here we go.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 52 yards.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big fourth-quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
70, go!
Now a handoff up the middle. Beverly. They will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there.
His third rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Dolphins 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And just shedding him off there.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing till the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for the Jags, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.